It's a sound hadith that comes to us from Sayyidina Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu, who says that the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam stated, the devil runs in man as blood circulates. Again, the devil runs in the man's blood, in man as blood circulates. I also know that some scholars have taken this literally, and they have gone to places and performed hijama, and they said that this is the bad blood, the blood that comes out through hijama, the Islamic cupping method of extracting the blood from the human body, which is, as a matter of fact, a sunnah of Nabi alayhi salatu salam, and it is recommended to do it at least once a year. Prophet alayhi salatu salam used to do that once a year, and he also recommended his followers to do the same thing. But I'm not a physical doctor to to tell you whether it is true or not. But I know that some, they have done it, and they have said that, look, this is that blood that the hadith of Prophet ﷺ talks about, where the devil circulates through through the human's blood. So again, I'm not in a level to really comment that from a medical perspective. Inshallah, we can ask in the future doctors, and we can have some elaboration on that, even though we have a doctor here present, but I don't want to put him on spot right now without really checking with him first, or with other doctors as well, and probably come up with a medical answer to it, and see if that literally, if it's taken literally, makes sense or not. However, metaphorically, for sure it does make sense. It is as Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is telling us, that the way how the blood of the human being circulates. First of all, what is blood? Blood is known to be the essence of the human, right? Blood is known to be the essence of the human, and it is a big percentage in the human body. Blood is a big percentage in the human body, and it circulates not outside of the body, but it circulates inside the body. And it goes through all the organs, including the heart, brain, liver, kidney, you name it. So if we mention the heart, and if we mention the brain as well, it goes through them. And these are known to be very close. And the jugular veins as well, right? The Quran too says that we are closer to the human being than the jugular veins. But what happens in the jugular veins? You have blood going through, passing through. So through all of these organs, we can see that the blood is very, very close to the human being, if we talk metaphorically, right? So Satan too can come very close to the human being and can go through very important organs of your body, just as the blood goes through them. It goes in your mind, it whispers in your mind. So it is very close to you. Satan or devil can be very, very close to the human being by whispering. And as a result of that closeness, you have many individuals out there who become victims immediately of the whisperings of shaitan. Let's go to the other hadith. Since the other hadith is a little bit more longer, I'm going to go straight into the English part of it. It is a hadith that comes to us from Sayyidina Jabir radiallahu ta'ala anhu, who narrated that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Iblis, the devil, puts his throne on water and thence sends forth his task force so that they may tempt the people. Again, Iblis has his throne on water. What does that mean? Well, we don't take it, I'm not saying it's not literally within his world. It is literally. But we don't see it though. We know that in his own dimensional world, since we don't see the jinns, we don't see the Satan unless they take the possession of a creation, either an animal or a human being. Otherwise, we don't see. It's a different dimensional world. But it is, as it's saying, for example, the human being is in the grave, the soul is in the grave, in the alam al-barzakh, in the world of the graves. What does that mean? Does it mean that in a physical world of the grave? No. It's not understood as the soul physically is present in the grave. But in its own dimensional world, in its own realm, is found there in that barzakh, in the life of the grave. But in its own, as I said, dimension. Similarly, when you hear a hadith like this one, where Prophet ﷺ is saying that the shaitan or the iblis, his throne is on the water, it doesn't necessarily mean according to our own understanding or according to our own realm, but according to devil's realm or iblis realm. He has a throne on the water. And then the hadith tells us that he sends his delegates. Delegates are his Satans, devils, and there are so many of them. The bad jinns, right? He sends them. He gives them a mission. What is this mission? The mission is to tempt people. Why does it say to tempt people? Because they have no power to make you do something without your will. Bidun iradatik, right? The jinns, they have, or the Satans, they have no power to make you do something without your own will. All they can do is what? Tempt you or whisper to you. So now, the hadith goes on by saying that the nearest of them to him in rank is he who tempts most severely, whose work is most damaging. That's the nearest of Iblis. One of them comes and reports to Iblis by saying, I did this and that. He chides him, you have done nothing. Like he tells to that Satan that you have done nothing. This is nothing. Then comes another and boasts, shows off. I did not cease to tempt him until I parted him from his wife. So I did not just simply tempt them, but I did not cease tempting that person. I did not give up from tempting that person until I made sure that he is separated from his wife, until I caused divorce between these two, until I caused a big problem between these two. So he brings him near to him. Iblis brings this devil close to him and louds him. You are excellent. So he praises him by saying, you're an excellent. A'mash is one of the narrators here, said, I think that Jabir radiallahu ta'ala anhu wa an Abi said, so he embraced him. So he adds this too by saying that he embraced him. Devil, Iblis, he embraces him. Not just gets him close, but embraces him. And not drew him near to him. So the interpretation, you have two different interpretations. One is interpreted as draws near to him, and the other one, the interpretation of the other one is embraces him. Embracing is more than just simply drawing somebody near to you. So now you can see who the real devil is, or what is one of the biggest tasks that a devil can do, and how he is not necessarily just rewarded, but achieves that proximity with Iblis. This is to inform us that people who cause separation between two other people, whether it is between husband and wife, which is horrible, the worst horrible thing, or between relatives, or between friends, or people in general. These are victims of Satan. These are very inflicted. They are hugely inflicted by Satan. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from such whisperings, from such temptations, and also save us from those people who are victimized by such temptations as well. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله.